Welcome to Unrooted, official kickoff to the 2019 fall season women's soccer edition. I'm Coach Zlatan Sahmanovic. With me, I have my very, very good friend, Brian Brownsfield. He will take it over from here. We're ready to go. Coach
Z, that may be the best introduction we've ever had on this show. That was seriously amazing. Thank you. You have a future in this, man. If for whatever reason you decide to get out of coaching.
But here's the thing. I have one of the best references, and that's you.
Oh, easy.
The voice of the Oaks. What was the award that you got this year? Your work is being recognized.
GSAC Sports Information Director of the Year. So
Let me get that for you.
Well, Menlo. As if this interview couldn't get off to a better start, we're going to dive into a little parable or a little story that you told me over the summer that made me want to run through a brick wall for you. It involves a wolf. Why don't you go ahead and explain that?
Sure. I don't remember when was that early in the summer? Or
I think it was about midway through.
Yeah. So the parable goes a little something like this. Inside of us, there's two wolves. One wolf, the selfish wolf, the wolf that lacks communication, drive, a purpose to their life, doesn't care about others, just not a fun wolf to be around. And then you have this other wolf who is genuinely appreciative and grateful for all the opportunities that they have in their life. They listen to other people. They're very open-minded. They act out of the interest of the pack, and they continuously contribute to whatever they're doing. And both of these wolves are inside of us every single day, even right now. The question is, which wolf wins?
Which wolf wins, folks?
The one you feed. The one you feed.
All right, so I'm going to get up right now. I'm going to run about 13 laps around the track right now because I am just absolutely pumped after that because I don't know what it is about that message. It just speaks to me.
Yeah.
And did you tell your team that message?
They have that in a different form where we were reading Abby Wambach's book.
Okay.
It's called The Wolf Pack. Very inspirational book and has very good messages about how to build your wolf pack and how to be a good wolf. And it speaks directly to everyone on the team. But that parable is very powerful. From an individual perspective, and it speaks to the choices, behaviors that we act out and think about on a daily basis.
And it just, if that doesn't inspire you, if that doesn't get you thinking, I don't know if you're human at that point, to be honest with you, because that just makes me want to, as I said, run through a brick wall for you.
Maybe sneak in a howler or two, you know?
First one of the interview, you knew that was coming. Maybe we'll have more. One big difference from you from year one to year two, and I love talking about facial hair on the show, is the fact that you now have a bit of an amazing looking goatee. I noticed you trimmed it a little bit, I think, for this interview perhaps. What went into the decision to grow it in the first place, and how long are you keeping it?
You know what? There was a moment of inspiration. If anyone on campus has walked by Krat, first floor, the wall as you're walking down the stairs had all of these amazing facial, pictures with people with facial hair. And one of them was our very own. And I don't know if that was subconsciously on my mind as I was creating this goatzee.
Oh my God. Wow. Goatzee! You did not say that. You did not just call it a goatzee.
Yes, I did. So there was that. He is red, folks.
I'm done.
I don't know if the camera picked that up.
I'm done.
He is red. So I don't know if that was inspiration, but I also, from my sister, was told when I was visiting her in Chicago this summer that, hey, you look like Dad. And my father is one of my mentors, and I said, cool, that sounds great. So I'm going to keep it. And as far as how long I'm going to keep it, that'll be open-ended. I'm not sure.
I mean, you know what? It looks good, so just keep going with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the facial hair, especially if it adds. I mean, you're a younger looking guy, right? I mean, you do have a little bit of a younger looking face. So adding on the goatee, having someone say you look like your father, that's one of the best compliments they can pay you.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep it rolling, man.
Sounds good.
You and me both. Let's do it. The goatzee. That may be the best one-liner of Unrooted history. And it's the first episode of the new year, so I don't know how we're going to beat it. But let's try talking about a little soccer here. Okay. Now, last year, the Oaks had a great season, but you did have a little bit of a smaller roster to work with. This year's team is deeper. It's a little bit better. Where do the Oaks stand for 2019?
I think we're in a good place right now. I think the new players add energy. They are very eager to learn and improve. They're asking a lot of questions, which, from a coaching perspective, we enjoy them asking. So it just makes our message more clear. They have a better understanding of what they're doing. But they're also talented, and that is going to, like you say, it just adds more depth to everything that we do. And at the end of the day, it makes us more of a challenge for anybody that we play.
Now, we got a great taste of what's to come with the 2-0 shutout win against UC Merced to begin the 2019 season. It seemed like the Oaks gave up a lot of shots, but how did the ladies manage to bend but not break on the defensive end?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to the team. That was a hard-earned win, and I'm very proud for them to just continue to show a high level of resiliency, and also to show exactly what we've been working on throughout the past 3 weeks in practice, especially when it comes to our defending. And most of the shots that came into us were from positions that made it very predictable, and it gave a lot of time for our back line and especially our goalkeeper, Michelle, to see the ball come in and then make a play on it. But, bend and not break, tough tackles, good communication, doing a good job of clearing the ball high and wide. That allows us to get behind the ball again and get reorganized. But overall, just a very hard-earned victory.
Now, last season at times the Oaks struggled periodically to score goals. You have a large influx of new talent this year. How is that going to help bring offensive success this season?
I mean, simply just getting more looks on the counterattack, but also helping us in the build-up. Like I said, the group is talented, so I think all of that will just lead to more chances throughout the year, and then more chances will result in more goals.
So after the opener, you had a scrimmage yesterday, and you have another scrimmage coming up this weekend on Friday at home. Mm-hmm. Do you find that experience valuable, going from game to scrimmage and then back to game, or does that make things a little bit different for you as a coach?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting going from, hey, this is a countable game, let's go, to transitioning a bit and saying, okay, well, these are scrimmages, here are the objectives for the game. They are valuable in that because it gives everyone an opportunity to get experience in game time. So, and it also tests our mentality, because with the flexibility with the scrimmages and being able to play 3 30-minute halves opposed to 3 30-minute thirds opposed to 2 45-minute halves. We can tweak the objectives. We can create scenarios with whatever the game's giving us. But most importantly, it gives everyone an opportunity to get some valuable game time and experience against quality opponents.
The Oaks at home on Friday with a 4 o'clock kickoff against Holy Names University. First home scrimmage of the season and the first howl on Unrooted from Coach Z. All right, Z, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 Wolf-related questions. Give me your best answers.
Okay.
Question number 1, which athlete of yours has a personality that most resembles a wolf?
Resembles a wolf. We have a few.
Okay.
We have a few. I have one. I would say her name is Megan. She goes by Megatron. What's up, Megatron? But I feel like her wolf-like characteristics come out in a game where she's just very, very difficult to beat in a one-on-one. And she also stays true to the pack. Same, I would say, with someone like a Corey Coverman, very wolf-like, game face on. Mm-hmm. Lily Chisler, same with her. So I would say there's a lot of wolves on the team that show that grit and determination, but most importantly are willing to put in the sacrifices for the pack.
If you got a bunch of wolves on the team, you're going to have one heck of a pack for 2019. There's no doubt about that. Question number 2, which athlete is most likely to have a wolf as a pet?
I would say that we have a freshman group that have a pet. I feel like those 3, so Robin, Cameron, and Chris. I feel like I could find them sometime throughout the day, and they would come up to me and go, "Coach, you're not gonna believe it. We found this wolf, and we're keeping it." Because they talk about their pet Beyonce a lot.
Their pet's name is Beyonce?
Beyonce. I believe it's a pet hamster.
Okay, I was going to guess dog.
No.
So pet hamster, okay.
Yeah, I feel like those 3 would most likely somehow have a wolf.
Do you know anybody who personally has a wolf?
No, legally no.
Okay, well, so I don't, but this is actually really great. So this morning, as I'm getting ready to leave, I'm talking to one of my housemates, Kyle Lupke, shout out to Kyle, about this interview, about the fact that we were going to conduct it, and it was going to be around wolves. And he said he grew up in Montana, and one day he and his brother were at the bank. He has a younger brother. They're at the bank, and this older gentleman walks in, and he's got this big husky-looking dog on a leash as he walks in, and comes up and says, "Hey, would you like to pet my dog?" And they don't really react to it much. It's a fairly intimidating-looking dog. And then he says, "Oh yeah, it's a wolf. I just trained it." And the best part about the story is that his younger brother looks him dead in the eye, this older gentleman, and he says, "Oh, I shot a wolf once." And then there was just awkward tension, and then the 2 sides went their separate ways, and that was the end of that.
Why is he shooting a wolf?
I guess you do that in Montana. I don't know. I mean, if they're coming into your backyard,
yeah,
which could be 5,000 acres. I don't know, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, it's a cool story. So you know somebody that has a wolf?
I know somebody through somebody who has a wolf.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Kyle ever met that guy again, but
yeah,
it's a relatable.
It's a possibility.
It is. It is a possibility. So now you got to be on the lookout for those husky-looking dogs. It could be wolves. You never know. And then question number 3. We kind of touched on this in the off the air before the show, so I know you know at least one. But how many different songs about wolves do you actually know?
Just that one.
Hungry Like the Wolf. I think it's
Yep.
Duran who sings that, I think.
Yeah.
That's the only one you know?
Only one I know.
So I have two others for you that I know that I actually knew before looking into this.
Okay.
So there's a song that's called The Big Bad Wolf. Couldn't tell you who sings it, but I remember I heard it in college at one point, and it literally just goes, The Big Bad Wolf, over and over, The Big Bad Wolf. And then there's a random howl in there. The music video is really weird. But then there's Metallica of Wolf and Man.
Okay.
So those are three songs that I know that
All added to my playlist.
all added to your playlist.
All added.
And they're all going to get Z pumped up for the scrimmage on Friday against Holy Names. It's at Wonderlic Field. It's at 4 o'clock. Make sure to come on out and support your Oaks for the first time in 2019.
Yeah. Come to the game. Check out all the other ones. We'd love your support.
Coach Z, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, folks. Our next interview will come next week when Coach Z will select the first student athlete to be interviewed by me, Brian Brownfield, right here on Unrooted Women's Soccer Edition. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody, and ow!
Ow!